Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to Wednesdays with Wallace, Psychic Medium. Wow. What the is going on around us in the world, and particularly what is going on in the US? Anyway, the title of today's show is, we'll get into it in a few minutes. The title of today's show, and I'm reading it, I made even a few notes this week, is Humpty Dumpty has popped his clogs and his band of lunatics need locking up. Does that pretty much say what it is? I hope so. I hope that I'm being as straightforward as I can possibly be, as uncryptic as I can be, and as honest as I can be. Because at the end of the day, I think that's where we're all at. I'm going to be shuffling some cards in a few minutes, but I do want to cover off on a couple of things, says she, like an old bear who's rubbing her back because it's a bit itchy. The babies are here, or they were here. The big angel's down under my feet, the earth angel, and the other one, don't know where she's gone, but if she turns up, she'll come and say hello, I guess, because she can't help herself. Wow, haven't we all been having an interesting time? How has your week been? Mine's been as busy as all get out, and lots of things still going on around me, some things that were a bit upsetting, but as the week went on, they tended to, disperse and subside a bit, and have some solution to them. And yep. Last night I got heaps of downloads, lots and lots of stuff happening last night. Now, I did put on this video, hit the subscribe, because only a percentage of you, only a very small percentage of you actually subscribe. So, please subscribe to the channel because it helps. Somebody made a comment, look, I'm not going to this doesn't affect me as such, but I like to sort of, put things a little bit straight if it brings something up. But, the whole thing about ads and things like that, well, let's get real. How the hell do you make money out of what you're doing and out of what's going on around you if you don't, do what they, give you the money out of? So, the more hits you get and the more things that happen, and don't think, I don't know where the person's head was at. Well, I could say where I think it was at. But don't, get your head out of your bum if you think that, and I think that's been nice, isn't it? Get your head out of your bum if you think that, this woman, me, I'm making a fortune or making some bloody, this wouldn't keep a sick canary in seed, love. So, don't think I'm making, any great fortune out of this or any great amount of money or whatever. As I said, it wouldn't keep a sick canary in seed. So, there's no money in it. I guess if I ever get to where I might have 100,000 subscribers or something, I might make a few bob out of it. But as it is right now, that's not happening. So I just want, I want those of you out there who might be thinking about all that and the ads and things like that. I don't have any control over those. I simply just wanted to monetize the channel, and they put ads on it, YouTube, and they put them on and when and where they like and what they want to put on. We don't have any say over that. That just happens, and you can click off. You don't have to even, watch it if you don't want to or whatever. Might be something of interest that might come up. It comes up for me from time to time on things, and I'll watch it. and click on something. But you don't have to, it doesn't matter. And so you do have the choice, and life's choice. We have the choice in all of this. And, that's what's going on at the moment with everything. I want you to realise that, and I want to keep reminding you, you have a choice. You choose. That's what they're telling me. And they want me to be very, very stern about that. That you choose. That one fell out. What was that? Oh, okay, 3 of Cups fell out. We'll put that over there. They're telling me that they want me to make sure that you know that you choose. You choose. Now, having said that, you're navigating an incredibly difficult time in our own evolution. So the Trump stuff, the stuff that's going on with Putin, all the things that are going on in the world are all part of and contribute to the change, this changing of the guard, this changing of the times, this movement of the planets. We've got all these planets in the next 12 or 18 months. We've got all the planets, changing, moving into other houses and all that sort of thing. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in ourselves, and that's all going on, as above, so below. That's all going on in the universe. And I just want to say this because I think it's very, very important. And I put the cards down because I want to be very plain and straightforward and serious about this to you, because I'm wanting to give. They're saying to me, there was so much stuff last night, kids. They're saying to me, darlings, that if you understand that you chose to come, you chose to be here, and if you're here at this time, you chose to be here for this, I'll call it the Big Bang. You chose to be here for the Big Bang. You chose to be here for the fireworks. You chose to be here to observe this. You chose it from your knowingness and where you were at the time. You don't remember that. I don't remember that. We don't come with the memory of it, but we know. So we chose to be here at this time. We chose to experience this for ourselves. We chose to work with it. Now, yes, it's a challenge. Yes, I get it. It's like, what the? WTF, finish it off, your own sentence. What the is going on? But it is, loves. It's going on, darlings, and it's going to keep going on as we navigate our way through this change in our chromosomes, the change in our DNA, the change in the world, the change in it all. None of it was ever going to happen without a few bumps. And these are the bumps. And yes, absolutely. We've got Humpty Dumpty over here. We've got, lunatic Putin over here. And they just are. I'm not going to hold back. I'm not playing politics. I'm not holding back on any of it. I'm not. I'm going to tell it as it is. And I just want to tell you that, as a light worker, and that's what people like me are, there's simply people who are getting messages, channeling things, heightened intuition that everyone is capable of having. We're not We're not unique and different. We are here with these capabilities, and you have them as well. So we're here to experience all those things, and we're here to share what we get. Now, we're all sharing in our own way, at our own level, you know, in the way that we do for ourselves and who we are as an individual. I mean, you know, there's probably nobody else like me on, you know, the internet doing readings. I don't know. Maybe there is. I haven't seen any. But it doesn't matter. I'm me and I'm doing it my way. And I'm who I am. And somebody else over there is who they are and how they do it. And that's fine, because that's the way it's supposed to be, because we deliver things differently. But having said that, if you go and listen to other readers and a whole lot of other people, which you probably do and you should, you know, what are they saying? They're probably saying similar things, because most of us are getting, you know, a similar hit. Now, I'm not one of those people, and I'm not saying, and I'm not going to pretend, because none of that has been said to me, but I'm not saying that, you know, come March or whatever, suddenly Kamala Harris is going to be, you know, President of the United States, or this is going to be this, or this is going to be that. But I am saying this, that the present regime, the present nutters, that's going nowhere. That's going to implode on itself. And it's doing that already. You're not privy to the bigger picture. Okay, now the things I've been told, I'm going to be shuffling while I'm talking about it, and I'm going to do one card readings for 3 people I've picked out. And I just picked them out at random, okay? And next week I'll do the same. And each week, I'm just going to do it each week. I'll just do, you know, 1 card random readings for people. So hang in there, stay in there. You know, come to the party. Oh, put on our party hats, come to the party. Thank you. So I'm going to tell you what's been given to me while I'm shuffling the cards. If you want to and you want to contribute to the channel, you can go in and buy me a cup of coffee. Whatever a cup of coffee's worth, I have no idea. I didn't put a price on it. But you can go and buy me a cup of coffee if you want, and contribute that little bit to, you know, to the channel. Because all these things are the only ways. I am going to be bringing out a new set of cards soon. I won't talk about those very much. The other addition to the channel is still in the pipeline and happening. Just difficult to get to putting it all together and doing it all at the moment. But I will. Now, as I shuffle the cards, I'm going to tell you what the downloads were last night. And interestingly enough, an elderly man has been around for a long time coming for me, and I never bothered to find out who he was or very much about him or anything like that. He just came every now and again, and especially when I was writing or doing things, he was always around. And but anyway, he came the other night, and he told me his name was Benjamin Franklin. Now, I know history, or I'm a bit of a history buff. I like history. So I know who Benjamin Franklin is, and that he was a little bit old to be, and he wasn't well anyway. He was sort of, you know, he died not long after that. But he would have, I'm sure he would like to have been, but he wasn't well enough to be the first president of the United States. But he was influential in a lot of areas. And he was a polymath. He was influential in a lot of areas, Ben Franklin, and I did say to him, do you mind if I call you Ben, not Benjamin Franklin? It's a bit of a mouthful, and he said he didn't mind that at all. But he turned up last night again, and what he said to me last night was, look at the Declaration of Independence. Look at the Declaration of Independence. Now, apart from, movies I've seen with that as a feature in it, I don't know very much about it. But maybe if you've got any comments or you go and take a look at it or whatever, I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But that's what he told me. Go and take a look at the Declaration of Independence, because Benjamin Franklin, incidentally, was the only person to have signed all three declarations. And you Americans will know more about those, what they are. One of them was the Declaration of Independence. There were another couple, but there was also a fourth one, and that was to do with a whole bunch of stuff with France, where he spent a lot of time. And so he was the only person to have had his signature on the three major ones in the US, including the Declaration of Independence and the other two, and also that other one. So he was pretty renowned for all that, Ben. And but anyway, he's a pretty smart man. And the interesting thing was him and Washington, Adams, and the other one, the first three presidents of the United States, and including Benjamin Franklin, all had an English accent. Why? Because they all came from England. So that's interesting, isn't it? With Trump banging on about, wanting to make Canada the 51st state. And I thought, knock yourself out, love. England will have something to say about that. And the Panama and Denmark. I thought, oh, Lordy. And you think all these people, it's a bit like, you think they're going to stand still and let you have it. Oh, God. Oh, it's a circus. That's what I should have put on this. I should have put on it Humpty Dumpty circus. No, he's popped these clogs for sure. So they've been telling me that to keep it cool, because what they were telling me was that people are going to start marching against all these things. People are going to start rebelling, because everybody's fed up with the system that they thought they have or thought they had not working, not bringing these bozos to justice, allowing them to run riot and do whatever they want when the average person can't. And people are sick and tired of it, and they're going to rebel against it. So I could hear hordes and hordes and hordes of people all marching. So I'd like to think all that's done peacefully, but there's a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. They were telling me that. They said there's so much anger, so much frustration, so much pent up and so much pent up emotion, they were telling me. And perhaps that's where, the military thing that I think I said in the last one, I got the whole thing around the military. There is a big investigation into all the missing votes and the whole election thing, because it was interfered with. I don't know that I said that before, because I didn't really want to join in on it all, but it was interfered with. And what am I getting? What are they telling me? They was telling me that NATO and there's a big investigation being going on, but at the time of the election, at the time of the inauguration, they didn't have enough. And perhaps at the moment they still don't have quite enough, but I think they're getting there on it. And, yeah, the more the lunatics, they're like children out of control, aren't they? Don't blame the poor bloody kids, but you know, they're all out of control. They are lunatics. They're out of control. They're people who have lost their minds, and they've lost their minds, and you know, oh God, what are they saying to me? I've lost my mind. Do you have it? Ooh, that's a bit profound, isn't it? Okay, all right. I've shuffled these enough. Question is, um, okay, what's happening? What's happening with what's happening with Trump and Canada and the tariffs? What's happening with all the tariffs? What's happening with all? What's going on with Trump and the tariffs? What's going on with Trump, Canada and Mexico? What's going on there? There's a lot of things to look at. You know, we'll look at the Gaza thing in a minute. But what's going on with? Oh, okay, let me have a look at those. Okay, thank you. Ooh, okay. All right, this one here came out. Ooh, Five of Cups and Judgment card came out as well. Three of Cups over here came out. And I'm going to read those in a minute. But I'm going to put this over here. I'll show you the cards when they come out. Okay, just past over here, up here, and down here. Oh, wow. Okay. Page of Cups, Fool card, Strength, Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Judgment, Five of Cups, and Three of Cups. What does it all say to me? There is new beginnings. There is new beginnings coming. There are, you know, it might seem at the moment like it's all, you know, futile and, you know, what the, yeah, WTF, what's going on. But it is. And you have to have the strength for this. We all have to have strength. We have to be resilient. We have to, you know, but judgment's coming. Not 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 from where we think. That's interesting. Not from where we think it's should come from or could come from. Not not in that way. It's not coming from the legal system. It's not coming from um, it's not coming from the old, that's what they're telling me. It's not coming from the old ways that we recognise to deal with things. It's not coming in that way, but it's coming. So we might ask ourselves, where? How? Well, they're not telling me that. That's not being said, but it is coming. There is. It's interesting. What I'm getting here in the reading is, I'm getting this. I'm getting this new house thing. Okay, I'm getting. It's like a new house. The old house. We're leaving the old house and moving into a new house, and that's happening with. Um, mm, that's happening with the White House. Okay. That's happening with the White House. Um, it's going to be occupied by someone else. Ah. Yeah, Trump's not going to be occupying the White House. It's going to be occupied by someone else. And there's this, I think it's escalating. I think that I was looking at it thinking in it all and listening to them. I was deciphering that, a while ago that it was going to all happen, say, within the next 3 or 4 months. But I actually think things are escalating. And when you look at, and that's borne out by looking at the moment, at the fact that he's only been in power, what, 3 weeks? And not even a month yet, only 3 weeks. And it seems like, the world's turned upside down and, we're all, doomed. Um, and I say all of us because, it's impacting everywhere. It's impacting everything. He's having a go at all different countries. It's impacting everybody everywhere, and that's not sustainable. That's what they're telling me. That cannot sustain itself. So where it may have seemed like it was going to go on for a length of time, it's not. It's not going to go on for a length of time. There is a celebration around it. We have to stay firm and we have to stay strong in it. And we have to just see, where that's going. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes, there is a nice outcome to it all, and we'll deserve it when we get it, because it'll have been shorter lived than what we think. But that will have been a very, very tumultuous time. And that's escalating. Can you feel it? I feel we're walking in a very interesting vibrational energy footprint of what's going on, and um, this whole thing around um, all the things he's coming up with, and what's it's like a lunatic has entered the premises with a whole bunch of other lunatics, and they've got some power, and they're running crazy. And the really interesting thing about it that's coming up in front of me here is that what I'm seeing is the world cards come up. So there is a good outcome to it. We are going to see a good outcome. But in the meantime, in between time, and we are going to see some justice around all this. Interesting to see where that comes from. Keep an eye on that. But um, there is a lot of heartbreak around this, and yeah, the Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords. What I want to say is this: that um, stay stay calm, stay focused, because I'm feeling, and that's what I was getting from them when I woke up this morning with all this stuff that went on last night. It's like a feeding frenzy. It's a real frenzy that's going on, and oh, yeah, it's a frenzy that's going on, and I think that we just we've got to stay. We've got to stay calm, stay calm, stay focused, and stay focused on your own lives. It's difficult. I get it. I know it's difficult. And it must be incredibly difficult for those of you living in the US because, it's a challenge and it's difficult for the rest of it. It's a bloody headbang. The guy's a bloody raving lunatic. And you sort of think, how the hell did you get away with all this, you ratbag? It's horrible. But I just want to tell you, I want you to focus on your life. I said that last week. They're telling me that again. Just focus on your life. But if there's an opportunity and, you're drawn to it, I feel there'll be some gatherings. There'll be some gatherings and some marches and there'll be some, rebellion against all this. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. I mean, people will rebel against the inactivity and the inaction and the justice of it. I think that's that judgment card that came out. I think Musk will end up being deported. I think they'll throw him out. I think that's what's happening with him. And I think his whole motor car empire will fall down the gurgler. And I think that the US government will pull a lot of his contracts. I think that might happen as well. He's in big trouble. He's a stupid, stupid, stupid man. Nothing bloody bright about him. Yeah. Anyway, we won't go into how he earned his money, but there's nothing too bright about that bozo. So he's overstepped the mark, and he's got a target on his back. There's people out to get him, and that'll be big time because the bigger you are, the harder you fall. That saying. That's true of him. I feel there's a rite of passage in all of this for us. I think we're learning new coping mechanisms, new ways of coping, new ways to live our lives, because it is very, very, these are very, very different and challenging times. But having said that, I feel that there's loads of opportunity and there's lots of wonderful things that are going to be, coming out of this, even though right now we probably struggle to see them. Now, Laura, I'm not sure where you are, darling. I hope that you pick up on this, that this is just a one-card reading for you, Laura. This is for you, darling. I'm looking at the time. Get a wriggle on, Wallace, or you won't, you'll have kept everybody here too long. But Laura, this is for you. And it's just a one card. And there you are. And that one was falling out. I'm going to leave it aside for you. Okay, now. Okay. Okay. What came out for you, darling, was this Ten of Wands. Now, there's a good relationship around you. You have a good relationship around you. There's somebody around you who, you have this nice simpatico, relationship with. And I'm hearing, I'm going to just tell it as it is. Sometimes things come and I go, oh, can't say that. But anyway, what I'm going to say is that there's a myriad of opportunity for you. There's a lot of opportunity going on around you. If you haven't seen it yet, it's there. It's there. Broaden your thinking. Broaden your. Like take off your glasses and look at what's really going on around you. Because I feel that you're a bit. What am I going to say? You don't see it. You don't see it. And it's not because it isn't there. You don't see it because, pardon me, you're not looking at it through the right lenses. There's an opportunity, loads of opportunity, lots of new growth going on for you. What's that about? Where are you going? What are you doing? What's going on? Um, because because there's a lot of things that are possible for you. But perhaps right now you're in a space where you don't think there is. But they want me to tell you that there is a lot of opportunity for you. A lot of opportunity going on. Put these back in the pack. Now, what do we got here? Julie. Julie, you asked me a question about NATO. Well, I want to tell you that NATO have been doing a big investigation around the election in the US because there's been a lot of concern in other parts. So we only hear just snippets at times, and we're not sure whether they're the truth or the snippets are true or not. But we only hear snippets, and what we don't see and what we don't hear, of course, all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. And one of the things that's been going on is that other countries, other countries have been concerned about, and why do you think he wants to quit NATO? Because, they're a watchdog. He don't like watchdogs. He don't want anybody standing over his shoulder looking on, and he doesn't want any. He's like, he's a spoiled child, and he's also senile, but he's a spoiled child. He doesn't want anybody looking over his shoulder. He doesn't want any guardrails. He doesn't want anybody to tell him what to do. He just wants to, willy-nilly, just go off, and pop his clogs. He just wants to do that, and he doesn't want people looking over his shoulder. So he certainly doesn't want NATO or anybody else. But too late, Humpty Dumpty, because NATO have been looking into your antics and those of your mate Musk, and they're looking into all of that went on around the election, all the things that have gone on, Musk and all of his stuff. Look at him now with all the stuff he's collecting. But he's been doing that for years through his motor cars. I quite like Tesla motor cars. Years ago, I wouldn't buy one because the thing that concerned me early on about Tesla and Musk, not that I ever trusted him because I didn't, but the thing that concerned me about him was the fact that he was, every time you got into your motor car, he was collecting data, and he wasn't in the motor car business, he was in the data business. He was collecting information and data and selling it to the highest bidder. He's a crook, that bloke. So NATO's looking into, Julie, NATO's looking into the whole thing around the election. Okay. Also, Julie, don't overthink things, Dale. Stop overthinking things. You don't need to. You don't need to overthink things. You're thinking too much about everything. And, you'll stab yourself in the back. You don't need it. We've got this coming out, this Ten of Swords. Too much going on, too much head stuff, too much head banging. Don't let it all go, darling. Let it go. Whatever's going on in your life that you you know, you've really gotten into your head about, um, back off. That's what they're telling me. Back off. Hope that helps, darling. Elizabeth Winters. Now, Elizabeth, what are you about, darling? What's going on with Elizabeth Winters? Tell me what's going on with Elizabeth Winters. Tell me what's going on with Elizabeth Winters. Mm. All right, what's going on? I'm telling you, kids, now, darlings, what's going on with you all with all this bound up in your thinking and all this stuff? You're all too much in your head. Get out of your heads. Oh, okay, Eight of Swords, bound up in your thinking. And you're bound up in yours too, Elizabeth. What's going on, darling? Now, before I go, I pulled out a card today, some cards this morning, and one of them was wonderful. And it was called The Water Spirit, and it was about manifesting dreams. So I want to leave each and every one of you with the energy of the water spirit, water being incredibly important, and water being, aligned with our heart. Um, this is the water spirit. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. And it's manifesting dreams. And this is a time, if there was ever a time for you, for all of you, to manifest your dreams, this is it. Because why? Because we're in a time where all the planets are moving, everything is moving, everything has happened. It's like this huge, massive 12,000 year cycle, and it's all coming together. Never. There's no historical data that shows that this has happened before. So we're in an amazing time, and Aquarius. This is creativity. It's big time creativity. So manifesting your dreams is, more available to you now than it's ever been. It's been a bit long today, the reading for you, but I seem to have had, a lot on my mind and trying to deliver it to you in ways that, weren't too daunting, because some of it can be daunting. Too much thinking. I did a reading for someone this morning, and it was very, very much about joy, finding joy in life, finding joy in our lives. And I'm going to leave you with this little thing that came to me this week from a man I was listening to, and he was talking about, in his, another man has it, but in this man's mind's eye, he imagines himself with it. So he has a coin in his hand, a coin. On one side is despair, and on the other side is joy. And when he feels despair, he turns the coin over to joy. And he thinks about, I call those things. I used to do counselling years ago, and one of the things I used to do is I'd get people to pick out, I always had a big bowl of, crystals and stone, all those sorts of things. And I used to say to people, pick one out for yourself. And I'd say to them, you're going to take that with you. We're going to call this your disruptor. And that's a bit like this little coin. When you get into the space that doesn't, doesn't do you any good and it doesn't help you, well, then you simply, in those days, they'd pull the disruptor out of their pocket or their purse or whatever. And it'd be a bit of a, like, bit of a bring you into the present, bring you into the moment. So I want you to think about and visualize you've got the coin. On one side it's joy, on one side it's despair. And so when you're in despair, all this thinking stuff that's going on with all of you, darlings, a lot of you have got it. It's a lot of thinking. When you're there in that space, turn it over onto the other hand, and then immediately you'll have joy in your hands. And if you have joy in your hands, what's it look like? So when you turn your despair into joy, what does it look like? What does joy look like for you? Write it down. Let me know. Let me know what joy means to you. I want you all to comment. I want you to put in the comments, what does joy mean to you? And stay focused. And this is the time for creativity. And we need more light workers. If there's those of you that are thinking about starting up a channel for yourself or doing things, please, this is the time. Do it. And, join the community of people who are imparting the things that come to them, intuitive knowledge, soul wisdom, and and some in their spiritual guidance, we hope. Enjoy your week, enjoy the time ahead, and I mean enjoy it. Joy. Pick the little thing up and turn it over and experience joy in your life. Mwah. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you next week on Wednesdays with Wallace Psychic Medium and Spiritual Counselor. I'm going to add that to my title and own that because that's true.